Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. This one, I want to talk about the US dollar, and why its status as the world reserve currency. I think it's coming to an end. Countries are fed up of the US, of their policies, of their chaotic, destructive policies, of their arrogance, their pride, the fact that they are trying to impose their will all the time, restricting other nations' sovereignty by weaponizing the dollar. A lot of countries have had enough of this, and I think the US it won't be the main world reserve currency anymore. I think the world reserve currency will be actually a mixture of currencies in the near future. I think, yeah, the dollar will be a part of it probably. We'll probably find the Chinese renminbi or yen. I think it's the yen or the renminbi. What is the Chinese currency called? Chinese currency name. I think it's the yen. Oh, renminbi. Yuan, renminbi. I apologize. Renminbi. Official currency, renminbi. Yeah, so it'll be a mixture of the dollar, of the renminbi. Maybe something else. I don't know. I mean, it will definitely change. That's for sure, I think. And I like this graph. I found this graph online, and it shows 500 years of world reserve currencies. And we can see kind of a pattern here, right? We can see a pattern emerging. So usually a country and its currency, it dominates for around 100 years maximum, yes? So Portugal dominated for 80 years between 1450 and 1530. Then Spain between 1530 and 1640 for 110 years. Then the Netherlands for 80 years. Then France for 95. Then Britain for 105. And now recently America, yes? But I think now this is going to change soon. I don't know when. I mean, already now a lot of countries are diversifying their holdings. Yes, they're not purchasing dollars anymore. A lot of countries are purchasing, for example, gold or silver or Chinese renminbi, etc. Yes, perhaps even cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure about this. I mean, I'm not an expert on finance. World of finance, economics interests me a bit more, but finance, yeah, I don't know much about this. I have a surface level knowledge. Perhaps I should know about. Perhaps I should know more about the world of finance and about trading, etc. This will be nice to know, because when you have this knowledge, I guess you can make a lot of money, yes, by trading, by investing in stocks, etc. Perhaps this is a project for the future, yes, but I understand the role that reserve currencies play. I understand this kind of economic concept, I guess, and why this is really important in the global functioning of the economy. Because if a currency has the status as being a reserve currency, it means it's the most dominant one, yes, and it's the currency that the majority of countries trust in. They believe in this currency because they believe in the political and economic future of the country associated with this currency, yes? But now I don't think this is the case with the US, because the US is collapsing from within. Well, maybe not collapsing, but it's definitely on the decline, yes? I don't want to spread doomer messages. I don't want to be a nihilist, pessimist. I mean, ultimately, I actually like the United States. I like this country. Despite all the chaos that the United States has brought to the world, especially recently in the Middle East, etc. I mean, I do like this country. I like the United States. I think it brings a lot of progress to the world. I like the pragmatic the pragmatic logos of the United States, as as E. Michael Jones would say. This is why I don't want the United States to collapse, but but at the same time, I think the United States, they need this country, they need to realize that their time is up in human history. They need to kind of withdraw and just allow. They need to allow the multipolar world to emerge, because this will be actually more beneficial for the majority of humanity. Uh, because the multipolar world will bring more justice, peace, and prosperity to vaster swathes of humanity, I believe. I'm pretty convinced about this now, after the research that I've done, etc. After thinking about the topic, and yes, so I know I'm repeating myself here, but the US dollar, it's losing this status as being a reserve currency because many cross-border transactions between countries are now being settled in other currencies, such as the Yuan and ruble. So that Iran is definitely diversifying its money reserves. Russia, obviously, China. I mean, even Poland. Poland is buying a lot of gold. This is a smart move. Other countries are buying more gold. So yes, we can see this process of de-dollarization. And I guess it began in 2008. This was the beginning of the end, perhaps, this credit crunch. And then more recently, much more because of all this sanctioning that the US does, this rash behavior in the international arena. It's too aggressive. It's too aggressive, I think. It's not measured. It's not measured enough. And these sanctions, they backfire, really. And this is why a lot of countries associated with BRICS, they're circumventing the dollar and the SWIFT system. So SWIFT is a kind of international payment processing system, I believe. It's how currencies are basically exchanged on the international level, on the governmental level, etc. I think this is what SWIFT is, but let's check. SWIFT. Is it SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, is the global secure messaging network that banks use to communicate instructions for international wire transfers. To route file, it doesn't transfer actual money, but rather sends the standardized secure messages required to route funds across borders. Message, I see. Okay, yes. What I've heard about SWIFT is this: that a lot of countries are creating their own messaging system. They're avoiding SWIFT because SWIFT is a product of Western civilization, and it's weaponized, yes, to control other countries that are not associated with the West, yes. So now let's go into the numbers, yes. So an overall review from the IMF records that in 2021, central bank holdings of US dollar reserves went down from 71 to 59% between the years 1999 and 2021. It's probably gone down a bit more now. Maybe it's around 50%. Maybe I don't know. I would need to check. But we can see that it's going down, yes? So trade between Russia and China is now handled solely using the ruble and yuan, yes? While Russian foreign exports settled in dollars are down from 80% to 50%. And similar trends can be seen between other countries and their trade data. So de-dollarization around the world. Countries promoting de-dollarization. So Russia, Turkey. So Turkey pays for Russian gas with rubles now rather than in dollars. China, China's cross-border interbank payment system. Okay, I forgot about this. Yes, SIPS. So this facilitates and supports cross-border renminbi business. China, Laos, local currency settlement. Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, ASEAN Payments Connectivity Initiative, creating an interoperable payment system with QR technology. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, development of new global reserve currency and single payment system. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of evidence out there that shows that de-dollarization is taking place. And I mean, it won't go down. It won't go down to zero because I mean, America still will have a very important role to play in the upcoming century. America will still have an influence. It's just that it won't be as strong as before. Yes, that is basically the message of my video, and it's good. It's good that this multipolar world is emerging. I think this is a very good process. I'm in favor of this multipolar world. Poland needs to start entering this multipolar world. It needs to start to enter trade agreements with China, with Russia, etc. Because it's clear that this is the future, and yes. So again, before I finish, when did I write this? Yes, nearly 2 years ago. Yes, I mean at the time I remember there was a lot of news about Saudi Arabia. That because Saudi Arabia is it's not a colony, but it's definitely aligned with the US and with the West, yes. And before, Saudi Arabia only accepted US dollars for its oil. But then at the time when I was writing this article, I heard information and whispers that Saudi Arabia is changing this policy, and it's not only accepting US dollars. Other currencies are were also prognosticated, yes, to be accepted at the time, but I don't know now. Let's check. Saudi Arabia continues to primarily sell its oil using the US dollar, maintaining the bedrock of the petrodollar system. However, the kingdom has also begun cautiously accepting alternative currencies, such as the Chinese Yuan, for a portion of its bilateral oil trade with Pacific partners. Okay, so you see, it has started to accept the Chinese currency, Yuan, Renminbi Yuan. So yes, yes, a lot is changing in the economy, definitely, and I really like this graph. It shows that there is a pattern. Yes, there is a pattern, an economic pattern. A country never dominates for an eternity. The baton is always passed on. when you're in a relay race, you pass on the baton, yes, and then the next guy starts running with the baton, yes. And I mean this is what's happening now. China will be here probably, or a mixture of currencies probably will be here soon. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I don't want to talk more about this issue. I don't know much about the world of finance, about the world of economics, but I like to dabble a bit in economics. It's an interesting and important subject area because it affects our lives, doesn't it? Because if we know more about these subjects, these topics, we can plan for the future. Yes, and I think this is important. Anyway, if you're still listening, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in to the JJ Think Tank and listening to what I have to say. You could have spent your time elsewhere, but you decided to stick around and listen to my ramblings. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing. If you're a new viewer, that is. It will help me grow the channel and spread more information. I think will help a lot of people out there. If you are an existing viewer, comment. I want to know what you think. Perhaps because I don't know much about finance, about economics really. If you can shed some light on these issues, perhaps offer some investment tips. I'm joking now. But yes, anyway, once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.